tonight the surge of migrants on the border, and this number tonight, more than 142,000 migrant encounters reported in the first half of this month. ABC's Matt Rivers at the border again tonight.
Tonight, officials bracing for what could be a record month for border crossings. More than 142,000 migrant encounters reported in the first half of September alone, now on pace to match or surpass previous monthly highs this year.
It just keeps growing. Every surge gets a little bit bigger.
Border communities and shelters pushed to the limit. The influx of migrants overwhelming cities coast to coast. The thousands now arriving have been on the road for weeks, and more are coming. We traveled to one of the most perilous legs of the journey north in Colombia. We met this group praying before beginning the trek through a brutal stretch of jungle called the Darien Gap. There are signs of humanity left behind in the dirt. A pair of jeans, a shoe, a small children's sock. Every migrant we spoke to there trying to make it to the U.S., the vast majority from Venezuela. Like Jose and Maria Torres, carrying their baby boy up the muddy hills.
Que es difícil hablar sobre eso.
They tell me they are risking it all to give their baby a better future.
And David, we haven't seen a surge like this since the Biden administration enacted new enforcement measures back in the spring. Here in border cities like El Paso, they're doing whatever they can to get out in front of all of this before thousands more migrants arrive.
Welcomed move by the feds, allowing some migrants to obtain work permits. It's the latest step on the national level to ease the crisis here in New York City.
All right, but local leaders continue to struggle to find housing. Fox 5's Chris Welch joins us live in studio with the message Governor Hochul continues to stress. Chris.
Well, Steve and Natasha, that message is the state just doesn't have the money to handle this. That's what she is saying once again. And she and the state's budget director are now making moves to trim costs. This as crossings at the southern border rise once again.
Our shelters really are at capacity right now.
Governor Kathy Hochul appearing on MSNBC this morning, stressing the urgent need for more help because she says the state is tapped out.
We're working so hard, spending millions of dollars, state dollars, to build shelters.
In fact, Hochul's budget director today sending this letter to state agencies, asking them to freeze spending next year at current levels, citing the economy, lower tax revenue, and notably, a humanitarian crisis. It comes as some adult migrants in the city's shelters receive notice that they've hit that 60-day limit that was imposed back in July. Activist Power Malou sending Fox 5 this letter that was given to a migrant staying in the Candler shelter in Midtown.
There is a limit to who we can house at this time, and we need the rest of the country to step up.
Hochul reiterated her calls for federal assistance, though her comments are directed less at the president in the wake of his decision this week to grant work permits to Venezuelans, and more so at the opposing party. She says Republicans in Washington are unwilling to even come to the table, a sentiment shared by the White House press secretary today.
We would love to do this in a bipartisan way, but we're not seeing that.
And the president last night.
Most migrants have to wait 6 months after filing a claim before they can go to work. Only Congress can change that.
And the finger pointing will only get worse. After a dip in border crossings that followed policy changes in May, more are now coming in. On Wednesday, the border town of Eagle Pass, Texas, announced a state of emergency after nearly 6,000 migrants crossed the Rio Grande into the town of roughly 28,000 people.
We turned this city around in 20 months. And then what happened? Started with a madman down in Texas decided he wanted to bus people up to New York City. 110,000 migrants. We have to feed, clothe, house, educate the children, wash their laundry sheets, give them everything they need, health care. And this team here, we stated, let's do everything possible before we have to push it out into neighborhoods and communities. Month after month, I stood up and I said, this is going to come to a neighborhood near you. Well, we're here. We're here. We're getting no support on this national crises, and we're receiving no support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this.
They're using these people as pawns. You don't want people to be here to vote. Close the border. That's why you just want people here to vote. You want people here to vote. For the United States, you come down. You're complicit in destroying our city. You come down, you oath breaker. You gotta go to sleep at night. Hey, motherfucker.
Make America strong. Nowhere is that here right here in New York.
My dad fought for this country. World War II. You.
Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is headed to the Rio Grande Valley in Texas today. Thousands of migrants crossed into the U.S. near Eagle Pass in the past few days, and the city's mayor says they feel abandoned and are pleading for help.
Well, now Texas Governor, Republican Greg Abbott, says that he is sending additional buses to Eagle Pass in El Paso to assist border communities. CNN's Rafael Romo is with us now this morning to discuss. And really, Rafael, this goes beyond the U.S.-Mexico border.
Yeah, that's right, Victor. This is more of a regional problem. And the problem goes beyond the migrants who have already made it to the U.S. southern border. There may also be tens of thousands of others on their way north. We reached out to the government of Panama, a Central American country that serves as transit point for many immigrants coming from South America and other parts of the world. They told us that during the month of August, listen to this, Victor, nearly 82,000 migrants crossed through their territory. And so far this month, more than 55,000 had done the same. This massive number of immigrants is causing problems not only across the U.S. southern border, as we have previously reported, but also in Central America and Mexico. Take a look at how these migrants are traveling through Mexico on cargo trains, using bed sheets as tents to protect themselves from the sun during the long trip north. One of those migrants told CNN that as risky as it can be, they prefer traveling on the cargo train because taking the bus can be way more expensive.
They take too much money from us when we go by bus. Drivers get 500 pesos per person, and that's why we arrived in Mexico City without any money, because they get greedy, right?
If they stay, it makes me sad. And if they leave, I get sad too, because I know that if they stay, their dream is cut short. And if they leave, it is also sad because we will never see them again. I mean, they are our brothers and sisters.
A new migrant crisis in perspective. Nearly 250,000 migrants crossed through Panama in 2022. According to Panamanian officials, more than 389,000 have done the same so far this year. And
Joe Biden has officially abolished what remained of America's borders and turned the United States into a dumping ground for illegal aliens from all over the world. We've become a third world nation. At this very moment, illegal aliens are lined up by the tens of thousands, ready to break into our country, knowing that even if they are caught, Joe Biden will order them immediately released into American communities. And many of these people are very dangerous. Under Biden, our border is gone, our sovereignty is gone, our national security is gone, and we are quickly becoming that third world nation that I've been talking about for so long. It's happening to us, if you can believe that. The United States of America is now a third world nation. On day one of my new administration, I will end this travesty and restore the sovereign borders of the United States of America. We will immediately resume expedited removals of people that are crossing illegally our border. And following the model of President Eisenhower, we will use all necessary federal, state, local, and military resources to begin the largest domestic deportation effort in American history, to send the border violators back to their home countries, and we will do that immediately. This invasion will not stand. Our country is being invaded. Our country is being destroyed by very, very stupid people. These are stupid people. We have to get them out. We have to take back the White House. Thank you very much.